Right, I've decided to do this video, and it's about this dating program called Tell My Story, and is about two potential couples, black couples, who are doing this dating interview. And I think it was quite interesting to kind of do a slight commentary on the things that I observed and how it relates to what is going on in the wider world and how that relates to the Bible. So let's listen.
I tend to want somebody that's as crazy as I am when it comes to having goals. I'm attracted to goofy, down-to-earth, strong women with someone I can trust with my life.
I'm looking for my partner to be career-driven, financially stable, has manners, and just is a good person. If you have a beard, it's like a plus.
So it looks like she doesn't want to help him to build anything. She wants a man that is ready-made, who's financially stable. But anyhow, let's listen.
You are a manager. You grew up in Maryland. Your cultural or ethnic background is African American.
My name is Andrew. I am 32 years old. I'm a construction worker. I grew up in New York, and I'm Jamaican. Your name is Ashley, and this is your story. You're 25 years old. You're a waitress, you grew up in New York, and you're Black American.
My name is Rebecca. I'm 28. I'm a production manager. I grew up in New York, and my cultural background is I'm Jamaican.
Word.
Yeah.
Didn't hear the accent. I was
really born here.
Oh, okay. I was born in Jamaica.
No accent either.
Yes, English second language. Elementary school. Yeah.
Yeah.
They put you in that class, and they had to teach me how to pronounce the letter H. 1, 2, 3, and then everybody in the class said, laugh off of me. I said, you mean 3? I said, no, 3.
Well, your English is perfect now.
Oh yeah.
Why did you think that I was a waitress?
You got the whole waitress look. Like,
what does that mean?
Hey, how you doing? Can I take your order? Yeah, the pleasant, right.
I could take that as a negative, because pleasantry, I think, could be anything. I could be a teacher.
But more like a waitress, because you got that smile and...
You're not really winning me over right now.
I'm sorry. I didn't think waitress was a bad job.
It's not a bad thing. It's just not my profession.
I feel you.
Okay, one of the first things I observed is that the brother got reprimanded because he called her a waitress because of the way she smiled, and she didn't like it at all.
6 years old, my mom and dad were both chefs. We were homeless at a point. And then
that waitress comment may not have won him points there. See, she was already upset with that comment alone.
Situation I ever face, and I guess if I feel like something is going to work out, it's going to work out.
I was adopted at 15. It was, of course, a real struggle, but it was the best thing that ever happened to me. I love my family. Both my biological and my adopted family are Caribbean. I grew up with my sister and lots of brothers. The house is loud. There were people coming in and out.
She's very, very attractive, of course, so I suppose she's got that going for her. So she's probably accustomed to guys just going mad, just seeing her. So I suppose she's thinking, well, I want a man who fits that kind of high criteria. And so that's what she's looking for. But let's tune in.
The thing about bringing a partner to meet your family would be introducing and the overall first impression.
Well, you're right about the first one. Yeah, my mom, she does a lot of cooking. I call my mom 3 times a day. Yeah, that's my homie. The most challenging thing about bringing a partner to meet my family is looks, believe it or not. Yeah, because they're so picky on how the person looks. Your mom does most of the cooking. You call your mom, say 5 times a day. The most challenging thing about bringing a partner to meet your family would be profession.
My dad cooked most of the meals when I was growing up. I call my mom twice a day. We text all day though.
Okay.
The most challenging thing about bringing a partner to meet my family would be the interview.
What does the interview mean?
My family definitely interviews my partners. So that means what your job is, where's your family come from, down to what kind of sneakers you like. It would be 101 questions.
Word.
Yep. And what do you mean by looks? What does that mean?
Yeah, I'm not really too crazy about how the person I'm dating looks, you know, but my family there.
See, she made a comment there about his job. She doesn't like him. She doesn't like the fact that he has that job. So that's definitely a no-no for her. And the way she's holding a notepad is like someone who's interviewing someone for a job. So there's definitely a kind of a power trip going on there. But let's tune in.
Okay.
What about me?
Yeah, they'll love you. Plus, you're Jamaican as well, so they will definitely
I'm
go
not
crazy.
cooking for you.
What? No cooking?
Nope.
But
I grew up where the man did all the cooking in my house, so.
You're lucky I'm a good cook. I could teach you some things as well. You know?
Well, I know how to cook. I just don't want to.
Okay, all right. I guess.
Do you notice how she said that she can cook, but she doesn't want to cook for him? She will never cook for him. She says, I grew up with a man that did all the cooking in my house, and I'm not cooking for you. And he goes, oh, you can't cook, you know, along them lines. And she goes, yeah, I can cook, but I just don't want to. You know, that to me is just a huge power trip, a huge attitude problem.
I have a lot of thoughts on my culture. It's very old school and traditional. I just want to take the good parts and make it more modern. Selfishly, I want him to make more money than me, but I'm not going to be quiet and let him make all the decisions. It needs to be like 60-40, which of course means 60 and him 40.
Now, here's where it gets really, really dire now, because now we realize that this woman is very dysfunctional, because she says, my culture is very old school, very traditional, and she wants to take the old parts and make it more modern, right? And she said she wants the decisions to be 60-40, and she wants to make 60% of the decisions to his 40%. Does this sound like someone that actually can actually fit into a biblical marriage? Absolutely not. She sounds like someone who has a power trip, who would not be very good in relationships, and will destroy a man and will destroy a marriage, because marriage is not even 50-50, but she wants 60% of the decisions. This is a lousy human being, and he should run.
The last time I fell in love was 7 years ago. It was like what you watch in the movies, a fairy tale. We held hands when we were driving. Years went by, not one fight. Like, I was happy. I found out the hard way that when you're in love and you do something stupid, you're gonna end up regretting it for the rest of your life. You'll feel most fulfilled working as a CEO of a big company. An appropriate number of hours to spend working per week is 40 hours. In 10 years, you would want to have a big family and your own business. Of course, traveling the world.
Wow, looks like you're getting to know me.
Okay, cool.
I would feel most fulfilled working as an activist and a socialite. An appropriate number of hours to spend working is 50. There's no such thing as too many hours. Work harder.
She actually said that working 50 hours a week is not enough. There's no such thing as working too many hours. I'm not sure what planet this woman is from, but she seems like she's a terrible manager to actually think like that, because you can't be working and not spending time with your loved ones and just balancing your work life with your life in general, like study, praying, reading your Bible, spending time with your family, you know, and just enjoying life. It's not just about work. But anyhow, let's tune in some more.
In 10 years, I hope to be married, 4 kids, pop out 3, adopt 1, in a brownstone in Manhattan and Harlem, dual citizenship in another country where we fly back and forth.
Oh, that's sweet.
Your turn. You would feel most fulfilled when you're working and making money. An appropriate number of hours to spend working for you is 45. In 10 years, you want to be wealthy, with a small to medium family, married and happy, somewhere in New York City.
I'll be most fulfilled, when I'm financially stable. I hate being broke, you know.
Who wants that?
An appropriate hour to spend working would be 40 hours. Because I don't think people should just work. You need some time to live. If you're always at work, you can't live. Basically, you go to work and go home, go to sleep. In 10 years, that's...
And more seriously, what I think is that if any man decides to take this lady on, she won't stay at home with the kids. It looks pretty obvious that she's very much about her career, about her job, about working loads of hours, and to hell with everybody else. She doesn't want to cook for her husband. She doesn't seem like the type that's going to be homely and just be the helpmeet to the husband.
Like really dead on.
Really?
Yeah, the wealthy part too. Yeah, so dead on.
I like how you caught that and you missed everything else.
Nah, the family thing, of course, you know. When you grow up in a big family, you tend to like that big family atmosphere, because a bunch of little ones being themselves, the little individual selves running around trying to figure out life.
Yeah, I can't imagine not having siblings or cousins. Like, it just teaches you so much, like sharing and just, you know, how to deal with other personalities. And I want my kids to learn that naturally in my home.
Sweet.
What kind of relationship are you looking for at this point in your life?
In this part of my life, I'm looking for, I have an open state of mind when it comes to relationship.
I'm sorry, excuse me, what does that mean?
Yeah, meaning like I believe in open relationships.
Oh.
I want to give that person that I'm dating the option of going out there and hopefully finding somebody better than me. And not saying I go out looking for someone better than the person I'm talking to, but I always keep an open mind. If I do run into someone, I do talk to that person. I've seen it work.
But you're single right now?
Recently, it worked for me, because like I said, I get to the point where I get, bored.
Okay, I'm gonna stop you right there. I respect that, and I totally get that, and that's what you want. It is kind of not realistic that you're gonna keep dating people with this open relationship and think you're not gonna get bored, because even when you're in love and you've been with someone forever, you're gonna get bored. That's like working through a relationship. That's where you have to like work hard, because a relationship is about hard work. I just can't imagine looking for someone else while I'm with someone at all times. It would break my heart, and I hope that the person that I'm with would be content with just me.
I understand that. Having an open mind doesn't mean I'm going out and I'm looking for that person. I'm waiting for that person to stop me from doing that. Because if I'm like, oh man, I'm head over heels for this person, I'll stop what I'm doing and keep my full attention on that person. I know it's weird.
Unfortunately, the brother, he actually took a turn for the worse. And at the age of 32, talking about being bored in a relationship and being in a relationship but looking for somebody else, or encouraging your partner to look for somebody else, is really stupid. I have to admit, you know, that's really, really silly. Now, she didn't like that at all. Her back's got up and she was really, I've got to stop now. Let's stop that there. She didn't like that at all. And to be honest, the brother let the side down. And I agree, at the age of 32, you shouldn't really be thinking that way. I mean, Christ was teaching at the age of 33. I mean, he was out there, you know, preaching and teaching and healing, and, you know, this guy's 32. I mean, you shouldn't even be thinking that way.
When I first saw you, I said that I would date you. I like your smile. It's very beautiful. And after the conversation, I still said I would date you, because I see that you're very strong-minded and, you know, you're family-orientated, and that's always a plus, you know, coming from a big family, and that you're smart. So, yeah.
So when I first saw you, I said I would maybe date you.
Okay.
Because I liked your beard. I don't know. I liked how you looked, but I never go on a date with someone just because. I have to get to know you a little bit. And then when I did get to know you, I said I would not date you.
This was no surprise. I mean, we know that he definitely was out of her league. She said that she wants to be a socialite. She's a production manager. She didn't like his job. So she definitely won't be with a man who is broke, which she considers to be broke. And she wanted to make all the decisions, but she needed a guy that's going to be on her level. And obviously, the brother let the side down when he said that you could still be in a relationship and still look for somebody else better. So it went how you expected it to go. He wanted her, she didn't want him.
And the reason why I would not date you, it all goes back to our last conversation about you having open relationships. Everything else is great, you know, family, we're both Caribbean, we're both from New York. Everything was going well until you broke my heart.
I don't know, I guess I'm onto something that not a lot of people is onto, because I'm not going to be insecure or worrying about what the person that I'm talking to is doing.
But this has opened my eyes that a lot of men may feel this way,
Yeah.
people in general. Just like keep an open mind that the other person might be the one and you're just looking right past them to the next one.
That's true.
I hope you find your love.
Thank you. I hope you find yours too.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
You think like women should be cooking and stuff? Like
Oh,
that
no.
type of traditional?
I'll cook for you
or-
every day. You feel what I'm saying? That's not the problem.
Okay.
Now, this is an interlude to the video that's just about to come. But I thought this was quite interesting because the brother looked sad. He looked petrified. He looked like he was just about to be beaten down. Oh no, I'll cook for you. I'll cook for you. You don't have to cook. I'll cook for you. So I thought it was quite interesting. But anyhow, let's listen to some more.
Would you read if you were on a desert island? And if you get like a hey sexy, I'm like, oh, you didn't even read my bio. No.
I believe in lust at first sight. That's what I believe in. I don't think you can love somebody just by looking at them, unless you're that. Yeah, I'm not even want to put an adjective on that.
There's no such thing as love at first sight. No, you can be attracted to someone at first sight, or you can be in lust at first sight, but not in love. No, because to love someone, you have to know them. You have to get to know them, know the way they think, and and the ideas that they have, and their principles, etc., etc. And then the more they talk is the more you fall in love with what they're saying.
For work, you're a photographer. You grew up in Detroit.
The Bible tells us in Ecclesiasticus 6 that we should prove a friend, so we should have to prove that person a friend first before we actually decide to love them or choose to love
I would say
them.
I'm an entrepreneur, like graphic design. I have a clothing line as well as it's a development label.
Wow.
I grew up in New Orleans. I'm a twin, so it's like we're the youngest out of like 5. So I'm just a little bit older than him by 2 minutes. It counts. And your name is Renee, and this is your story. You're 22. I would say you're like a barista and slash creator. I think you grew up in New York. I would say you have like 3 siblings, and you're probably those.
My name is Whitley. I'm 24. I'm a grad student.
All right, nice.
I grew up in Delaware, but I feel like New York was a compliment, so thanks.
No problem.
I have 4 siblings, and I'm the middle child.
Okay.
So there's 5 of us.
So what did you major for?
Medical genetics.
Ooh, elaborate. for me.
Yeah, so it's like the study of like your genes and like how your genes get kind of passed down. Well, you have a clothing line.
Yes. I think it says a clothing line. It's a label.
That's dope. If I was creative, I would.
Oh, so you don't create.
Yeah, I have no creative bone in my body.
Before I moved to New Orleans, I was in like a really long-term relationship, and that was 3 years. So I've just been swiping.
So we've been hearing that the sister's been married for 3 years. Well, she said in a relationship, but we know that biblical marriage and worldly relationships are both the same. But we want to know why it ended, really, and why is she looking for new love?
I don't know anybody here, so let's just kind of like see what's out there.
I have not been in a long-term relationship before. I would say the longest period of time had been roughly 6 months. There's many times where I've wondered, well, will I actually ever find a soulmate? I can honestly say I don't know how soulmates work because I don't think I've encountered one. So
this kind of gives an insight into his character, because he's only been in a 6-month relationship, so he's not too experienced with women.
Trey songs. I would say it is important for your partner to be close to your family. Traditional gender roles are, I say they are required for a stable home. You probably are early bird because I feel like you having a career. Your last meal would probably be like curry chicken. I don't know why I say curry chicken, but yeah.
So my dream dinner guest would be Michelle Obama.
Okay.
It is important for my partner to be close to my family. Traditional gender roles aren't required for a stable home. I am an early bird because they get the worm. That's all.
Now, she said that traditional gender roles are not required for a stable home. Now, that's very problematic because that's just not biblical and it doesn't work. It just doesn't work.
It just rolled off my head.
I feel like you're close.
It is important for your partner to be close with your family. Traditional gender roles are not required for a stable home for you. You're a night owl because creativity flows at night. Your last meal would be a medium rare filet.
I would say Warren Buffett will be my dream dinner guest.
Okay.
Tell me what you don't tell the internet and everything. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to be up there. I would say initially it isn't a variable if you know they're close to your family or not, only because you know they have to get to know them. Traditional gender roles, I would say, I say it is, but that's only because like I feel as though a man should, definitely provide for the household. A mom should definitely show, a certain type of love to the child, you feel what I'm saying, as far as an upbringing.
You think like women should be cooking and stuff? Like type of traditional?
I'll cook for you every day, you feel what I'm saying? That's not the problem.
Would you be upset if like the woman was the provider?
I wouldn't be upset. I appreciate people that's very goal driven and motivated. So, if you are making more money doing what you do and you're happy doing it, you feel what I'm saying? We can be happy together. And you are correct. I'm a night owl. My last meal would be lasagna. That's, oh God, that's that.
That's a lot of cheese.
Oh man.
Right.
I think the only deal breaker I have is how you view me as a woman. So if you think like I'm gonna come home after 12 hours and whatever and cook, no, I'm sorry. I'm definitely not the stereotypical, I'm gonna cook for you, or I'm gonna do laundry or wash your, no, absolutely not.
That's the problem with these westernized black women, is that they think this type of way. I'm not going to cook for you as my husband. I'm not going to do your laundry. I'm not going to do anything for you. I'm not going to do, because they have this kind of feminism. I am better than you. I'm supposed to be the head of this relationship. Don't you know? 60% of the decisions are supposed to be for me. It's all about me. You're supposed to be here praising me, making me feel great about myself. What about me? What about me? What about me? And that's what these feminists are about. And this woman has the gall to talk about her mum was a pastor. The Bible is very clear that a woman is not supposed to be a pastor of anything. So that in itself is problematic. So we know that she's been taught women's liberation, feminism. She's been taught all the things that the Bible is against. And this is what this has produced, and that's why she's saying these things. And these things are poisonous because they cannot maintain a marriage.
It's definitely important to get my situation together before I give myself to somebody, only for the simple fact that I grew up with, I guess, a man taking care of the household, so that's what's instilled into me. That's why I'm making sure I'm handling my biz before I get a family.
So the man understands his role as the stronger vessel and as the head of the family and the provider of the family, but it's just the female that is the problem, because she now thinks that as she is the stronger vessel, and she should be running the family, because one of the questions that she asks him is that would you get offended if I was the provider for the family? Now, why would you want to be the provider of the family if you're a female? You are the weaker vessel of the family. He is the stronger vessel. He's supposed to be provided for his family because he's made that way.
My mom was like a teacher, and then she became a pastor, and then my dad was the breadwinner. You know, she would cook all the time. That would be a big deal breaker. Like, if you view me as like a woman from the 60s or something, I'm just like, sorry.
The black woman in general says these kind of things because they're listening to popular culture and the way it's going. But the problem is that the Most High made you for a particular purpose. Now, when Christ is coming back and he's taking back the world, are you going to say to Christ, well, I know the Most High made me, but I wanted to do my own thing because I'm a strong, independent black woman? You say that to Christ and see what's going to happen.
Only because I just have good morals. I was raised by my grandma. She did, instill religion, but
I was like, did y'all go to church? And
every Sunday, every other Sunday.
so you wouldn't consider yourself like religious now?
I would say more spiritual. I just know like there is a higher being. It's not like a religion based. It's definitely spiritual. Money didn't matter. I would definitely be helping a lot of people, whether it's mentally, physically. If I'm saying whatever could help somebody. They.
Wow.
One thing I love about myself is my humor. Like I can joke around all day, and a deal breaker is not communicating. Like I feel like anything could be communicated. You feel what I'm saying?
Do you think you're a good communicator?
Oh, definitely. I'm very straightforward when it comes to I guess speaking on things. Only because I don't like people beating me around the bush.
Just be direct. Yeah. Okay.
Direct, definitely.
Yeah.
Whether we're going to be together or not, if we can communicate what's bothering us or anything like that, or what's on our mind, then it shouldn't be a problem in the relationship at all. I would say religion isn't needed for a strong moral compass. If money didn't matter, I would say you'd be exploring, like going everywhere.
That's a good answer, actually.
But one thing you love about yourself is determination, like your drive. You have to be very determined in order to get past college. I just know that for a fact. And a deal breaker in a relationship, I feel like it's the person not being honest with you.
Religion is not needed for a strong moral compass. It was pretty much the same thing. Grew up literally like my mom's a pastor and all, but then I kind of.
So you're really.
off the beaten path.
Biblical truth is what we should use as a strong moral angle to anchor the family. Absolutely. What we're doing is we're following the commandments of Christ, and that's how we keep our families together.
That's fair, but if money didn't matter to me, I would spend my life lobbying for the homeless. One thing I love about myself is my compassion for others, and my deal breaker in a relationship is not treating me equally or believing women shouldn't have equal rights.
There's one thing I hate about these people. They always say, these so-called Christians, they always say, oh, well, I like helping the poor, I like helping the sick and the needy, but you can't cook your husband a meal, or you're at least saying that you're not going to cook your husband a meal. So you're not going to cook your husband a meal, you're not going to do his laundry, you're not going to help your husband, but you're helping the homeless and the sick, and you're giving money to the sick. How does that work? You're not taking care of your own home that you were given by God, but you're helping others. Does that make any sense? No, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever, because it's BS.
I feel like that sums it up.
So when I first saw you, I said I would. Yeah, you look like initially I was like, okay, like nice style. And then after meeting you, I also said I would.
Fire.
Yeah, I was a little nervous though when you said something about traditional gender roles. I was like, ugh, that's not me.
She was very nervous when he said traditional gender roles. That really scared her. What is it with the black woman and traditional gender roles? I mean, I don't get it. It's like, your mother probably did it for you. Why don't you do it for your children? Why not do it for your husband? Your mother probably did it for your dad. Why don't you do it for your husband? What's so bad about that? That's how it works.
But
Trust me.
then you said something about communication, and I was like, okay, so you seem like a blunt person, and so like you wouldn't be upset if I was just very direct and honest.
People come from different backgrounds.
Exactly,
and walks of life, so
and it's just like you have to just appreciate someone for like where they've come from and like their experiences in life.
when people meet people, they have to learn to accept that person or to even love them. You feel me?
Right.
It's just not.
Initially, I was like, I hope nothing gets taken out of context, but like if it does, that's even better for conversation. Like when you said Renee, I was like, Renee? I don't know. Like, what's a Renee?
It's my middle name.
Now, there's lots of things going on in these videos that you can say about these videos, and the two black women in the two videos, one thing we have established is that these two women do not want to help their husbands, do not want to cook for their husbands, do not want to do the laundry, do not want to do the traditional wife-like things that they're supposed to do. The job that they were made for, the Bible says the young woman should find a husband, bear children, and guide the home. That is her mission in life. That is her purpose in life. And anything else is she's not doing what she was made to do. To be a helpmeet, to be a pillar of rest for her husband. And what we find is that the two men in these two videos are quite interesting, because the first one said he gets bored in relationships. But I would hazard a guess and say that he gets nagged a lot in these relationships, and because he likes strong women. You see, you cannot love strong women, because the Bible itself tells you that the woman should be humble and meek and quiet spirit, lowly in spirit. Why? Because it complements the man, because men in general are aggressive. So therefore, if you have a woman that is aggressive, is manly, is masculine, of course you're going to get bored quite easily. You know, and of course your eyes are going to be like, next. You're always looking over there because you're not happy with what you have, you see. And in the second video, you have a man that is completely weak. He's a bit inexperienced when it comes to women, and he's completely weak. And he is telling the woman that I'll cook for you, and she's blatantly saying, I'm not going to cook for you. And he's saying, no, don't worry about it, because I'll cook for you. I'll cook all the time, you know. And that is a weak man, right? So brothers and sisters really do need to take their Bible seriously and really need to study what marriage is about in the Bible and honor the Most High by obeying the Bible, because anything that strays away from the Bible is sin. Now, brothers and sisters, I hope you enjoyed this video. Shalom.